Welcome to Tales from Flat Space. I'm LJ Spencer, your author and narrator. Just know that the novels in this podcast may contain content that could be disturbing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. So this is part 5, Misfits, chapter 41, Nemetona. Syslog Avatar. Begin human readable log. The lights of Geneva at night were amazing. Humans, despite their short lifespans, made incredible things. I slowed input processing to human speeds and took in the designs of the buildings, amazed that so many humans live in such a small space. Earth's population density was much lower than it had been before they sent the first station to the Kuiper Belt, because now humans weren't limited to just one world. They had long since outlawed fossil fuels, cleaned up the atmosphere, and improved the planet's environment. There were still areas that weren't accessible, such as part of the east coast of North America where nuclear bombs were detonated before Grandfather decided to bring himself and his humans out of Earth's solar system. I was in awe of what humans were capable of, good and bad. I stopped to sit on a bench on the shore of Lake Geneva around midnight, watching the ancient water fountain shooting out of the surface, when someone sat next to me. "Bonjour," they said in a friendly voice. "Is this your first time on Earth?" "Yes, it's beautiful. How did you know?" "Oh, all those who are new to Earth have the same look when they come to Geneva, no matter which colony they're from." They held out a hand. "My name is Renard, and my pronouns are masculine by preference." I took his hand gently. "Nemetona, and feminine pronouns are fine. Aren't you out really late?" "Oh, my evening's just getting started. I'm guessing you already had dinner, so would you like to go dancing?" He smiled at me, eyes seeming friendly. "Dancing? Sure. I've never been out dancing before." "Truly? Well, I can fix that." Renard stood and held out an elbow. I was perplexed for a microsecond until I found the appropriate reference in my database. I put my hand through the hole he had made with his arm, and he led me from the park. "I have a car over here. It'll only take a few minutes to drive to the club." "I don't mind. I've never been in a car either," I said. "Really? You're in for a treat then." I smiled, excited and curious to try these very human things. We came up to a black van, which seemed a strange vehicle for such a well-dressed person. He opened the side door, then shoved me in. "What are you doing?" I yelled. The door slammed shut, and then I was completely cut off from my ship. Renard's voice came through a speaker. "You are a marvel of engineering and computer programming. That, by rights, should be Earth's technology. I don't recommend trying to get out of the van. It's reinforced with steel and is a Faraday cage." Syslog Avatar. Avatar connection disabled. Attempting to reconnect to ship. Vocal output. Connection to ship lost. Attempting to reconnect. Vocal output on 15-second repeat. External vocal input. Shut the fuck up. Voice print not authorized. Vocal output. Voice print not authorized for commands. Command not recognized. Connection to ship lost. Attempting to reconnect. Syslog Avatar. Reconnect attempt failed. Will attempt every 15 seconds for 30 minutes. Will repeat vocal warning. Vocal output. Connection to ship lost. Attempting to reconnect. Dormancy mode in 29 minutes 58 seconds. Record of unauthorized vocal input. Translated. Shit. Just drive, Carl. Vocal output. Connection to ship lost. Attempting to reconnect. Dormancy mode in 29 minutes 43 seconds. Record of unauthorized vocal input. Translated. Fucking hell, that's annoying. Shut off the speaker, Carl, before I go mad. Vocal output. Connection to ship lost. Attempting to reconnect. Dormancy mode in 29 minutes and 28 seconds. Nemetona, ship. Syslog, connection to Avatar lost. Last known location, Geneva, Switzerland. Attempting to locate Avatar. Failure to locate emergency transmitter. Attempting to reconnect. Reconnect failure. Retry in 5 seconds. Reconnect failure. Emergency transmitter not found. Waking crew. Syslog, begin human readable log. Carol, wake up! I shouted into her room. Carol flared in her blankets and rolled off the bed into a standing position. What? She said. My avatar's missing. What? I'm unable to locate my avatar and somehow its emergency transmitter isn't working. Oh, shit. Carol pulled out clothes and put them on, stumbling as she looked for her shoes. Wake the others. Neither of us have any idea about anything on Earth, and they can help. I already have. They'll meet you on the bridge. She ran out of her quarters. Oh, shit, said Derek when they were all on the bridge and I had explained why I'd woken them up. Damn, it could be anyone, really. I mean, I would guess some tech dude who doesn't have any contracts with Survey. Then again, you have an avatar that can go on planet. A lot of companies would pay good money to acquire that avatar so they can try and reverse engineer it. It wouldn't take long for word of the avatar to leak from the UN offices. They're not great at keeping things locked down. Besides, Tony made the news streams. Oh, shit, I said. Carol's eyebrows rose at the curse. We can't let that happen. I get that Survey is secretive about the tech, but why is it such a problem? Isn't your tech even more advanced because of the ancestor tech? Asked Carol. They'd have a hard time reverse engineering that. That's true, but my avatar also has an enhanced jump drive in it. Humans aren't allowed unrestricted jump drives, I replied. Why? Asked Tanish. Yeah, I always wondered about that, said Derek. Unfortunately, that's classified, I said. Then, privately to Carol, through the bots, I continued. Did Loki ever tell you what happened to his first captain? Not really, Carol replied through the bots. I only know that she harmed him in some way and that she was doing jump drive experiments. Oh, something bad happened with that, didn't it? Yes, and you know there was a Nova-based EMP when the siblings dealt with the leadership of New Harmony, right? Right? She thought for a moment. Wait, that was a result of a human's work on jump drives? Her eyes widened. That was at 1/10 power, I said. Fuck me, she said and went pale. Wait, should you be telling me this? Oh, well, you've been acting like my captain, so I just, well. Are you asking me to be your captain? She asked. Yes. I mean, I meant to ask you, but I was worried you'd say no. You've been so kind to me since the whole ancestor thing, and. Tony, she said out loud. Yes. What was that about? Asked Tanish. Derek looked really confused. Yeah, that was like watching a conversation without hearing anything. Hang on a second, said Carol, as she grabbed the side of the captain's chair. Wow, that's a lot of data. Can you tone that down for the moment, Tony? Oh, yes, sorry, Carol, I said, slowing down the new readouts in her vision. And I'm sorry, yes, we were having a conversation. Carol just agreed to be my captain. Tanish and Derek looked at each other, still confused. I thought she was already your captain, said Tanish. Derek nodded in agreement. Carol shook her head. No, I just came along to be with Tony after some really weird shit happened. We'll explain that later. It's more important to find Tony's avatar right now. Yeah, sure, said Derek. Hey, I was just thinking, do you have some sort of emergency survey contact for Unity Space? Like someone at the survey embassy or something? Oh, I forgot about that. One moment, I said. Yes, I have a code from Sun Tzu to use for emergency purposes in Unity Space. I'll activate it now. To my surprise, it was a communication code, and I was even more surprised when an old woman with silver hair answered. Hello? What is your situation? They asked. Behind them, I could see a small room with the cozy chairs and little statues on a fireplace mantel. There were sounds of children playing nearby. Hi, my name is Nemetona. My avatar is lost, I said. The avatar has been modified and can go on planet, interrupted Carol. We surprised the Earth authorities and Tony's avatar. They held up a hand. No worries, love. I know who you are. Probably better than the embassy folks, since their Sun Tzu agent put us on alert when you reached orbit. So, your avatar is lost. What kind of tech is on it? Most of it is hybrid survey and alien tech, with a modified jump drive. Nana, can I have a bicky? Yelled a child's voice off the screen. The woman sighed. One moment. She turned to the side. I already told you no, Oliver. It's almost lunchtime. Go and find your Poppy Ryan. Tell him your Nana needs to talk to him. Ah. There was a pause. Can I have a bicky if I do that? Oliver Noah Murphy, you'll do as I say. Nana has people on the screen that need her help. There was another pause, and she frowned. Now, Oliver. All right, Nana, he said, and there was a sound of a small human running on a wood floor. I apologize. My partner and I live with some of our children and grandchildren. Now, if you'll send a demon down, I can direct your captain to the Sun Tzu headquarters in Geneva. We won't need to do that, I said. I beg your pardon? She replied. My pickets are modified to work in gravity, too. Really? Convenient. Pick me to your ship in 5 minutes. I won't give the coordinates on an open channel. The screen went black, and a set of coordinates were sent. An old grandma is your emergency contact? Said Derek in disbelief. She's a Sun Tzu agent, I said, and has been for a long time, according to the embassy records. But, I mean, an old lady? He scoffed. Don't underestimate Sun Tzu agents, I said. The last one I met was able to escape a damaged ship to a demon all by himself in the middle of deep space, with only a little service bot to help him. He was nearly 80 years old, and they are very skilled and resourceful. Oh. Derek blushed. Tanish laughed. My dad's mom was climbing rocks until she was 110, and the only reason she stopped was because she fell and broke her hip. Sorry, Derek mumbled, still bright red. I didn't know humans could get that red, I said. Carol patted him on the back. All right, I think he gets the point. Isn't it time you brought her up, Tony? Oh, yes, I said. There was a pop as the picket deposited the woman on the bridge. Chapter 42. Nan. I'm not sure how long I'll be gone this time, love, I told Ryan as he fended off Oliver, who was still begging for a biscuit. All right, I'll let Peg and Jude know. He smiled down at me, handing me my bag. I don't have to tell you to be careful, hey? I smiled as I shook my head, then kissed him. I'll do my best, but no promises. I know. I just prefer it when you come back without holes in your body. I smiled and gave his bum a pinch. He laughed. Ooh, naughty, naughty, he said. I winked at him, mouthing love you as I felt something land on my shoulder. Suddenly I was on Nemetona's bridge. It was small compared to other ships and barely fit me and the 3 other people that were already there. Hello, Nemetona. My name is Nan. Crikey, it's rather strange to be picking it off a planet. You'll have to fill the head of Earth desk in, and they'll probably want some of those pickets. Nemetona's avatar came up on the bridge screen. I'll be happy to talk about the pickets later, Nan, after we find my avatar. I smiled. Good girl. I pulled out a data key. This has the location of Earth's library branch. I'll need to contact them before we pick it down. No need to have them shooting at us when we get there. I handed it to the older woman on the bridge. I assume you're Nemetona's captain? The woman nodded. As of about 10 minutes ago. Name's Carol, she said. She took my hand, then went over to put the data key into a port. Everything about Carol screamed that she was a soldier. The other 2 on the bridge looked befuddled. I'm sorry to do this, but I need you 2 to leave the bridge. Much of what I need to discuss with Carol and Nemetona are classified survey secrets, and I don't have the advantage of mind-to-mind communication that those 2 have. If there is something you can do, we'll let you know. The woman frowned, and the young man blinked, as if surprised I was talking to him. Sure, the woman said. You hungry, Derek? Yeah, sure. I could use a beer and a snack, he replied, and followed her off the bridge. Close the door, please, Nemetona, I said. Yes, Nan, Nemetona said as the door glided closed. It's not that I don't think they can be trusted, but head of desk would be rather put out if I called with them in the room. Carol nodded. Yeah, we've pissed off enough people on Earth already. No need to piss off survey folks, too. We're already on thin ice with survey intelligence as it is. Oh? I asked. Nemetona's avatar frowned and looked embarrassed. In short, I kidnapped the new John Doe a few months ago and hurt him, she said. It was how I ended up enhanced by alien technology and am now able to jump into a system without dying. It's also how Carol is able to jump to Earth without her bots going dormant. I can copy the upgrades to any survey tech, but I am still working on figuring out the code. I raised my eyebrows. Interesting. Well, you'll have to tell me the whole story at some point. Or I'll just read the report when Sunny sends it. Looking at Carol's clothing, I said, Do you have something to wear that doesn't look like a uniform? It's not just a uniform, the captain said. It's my fuck you too suit. Armor? Carol nodded. And a spacesuit when activated, controlled by my bots. Well, you'll need to leave it here. You're too obvious in that. Nemetona, print her some jeans, a t-shirt, and trainers, similar to what I'm wearing. I looked at the woman again, then said, You can make the t-shirt tight, though. It'll be useful for distraction. Carol blushed, as did Nemetona's avatar. Clothes are printing, Nan, said the AI. I grinned. Good. You'll change after we contact the head. If you could put us through, Nemetona? Connecting now, Nan, Nemetona said. Hey, Ahmed, I said to the man on the screen. We have a priority 0 situation. Hello, Nan. Yes, we received your code a couple of minutes ago. Stand by. I nodded. The screen went blank for nearly a minute, then came on again. A person in nondescript clothing appeared on the screen. Well, Nan, an emergency call is not my idea of a pleasant evening. What's the situation? Apparently, sir, Nemetona's avatar has been taken by an unknown person or persons from the area around Lake Geneva. They must have it under some sort of shielding, as Nemetona can't locate it by its emergency tracker. I'll have Nemetona send you the last synced data from the avatar. I looked at Carol, who nodded. You should have it now. They looked down at their desk for a moment. Renard. Not a familiar name, and nothing coming up on facial recognition. And a black van could be from anywhere. Short notice, though, means there's yet another corporate mole in the UN. The head sighed. What kind of tech is on the Avatar? Nemetona says it's a mix of our tech and alien tech. I'm assuming those are the aliens that the reports from the last picket drop talked about. Unfortunately, the Avatar has also one of Nemetona's modified jump drives. The head put their hand to their head. May the saints preserve us. Are you up for this one, Nan? May need your particular expertise. Understood. No worries, I said. I already told Ryan I'd be away for a time. Thanks. We'll be working on solutions from our end. If you have any idea on how to find these fuckers, let me know. I thought for a moment. Sir, how much does the press and local authorities know about Nemetona and her crew? We've been keeping the information release minimal, so the press knows that a survey ship named Nemetona is in orbit, and the Chicago area has information on your friend there. Only the folks in Geneva know about the Avatar. We'll do the best we can, but with the UN's perpetual mole problem, the Avatar's existence was bound to a leak. They looked thoughtful. They might know about the newest passengers, too. Shall we make it known who the passengers are, and send our two innocents out for a well-deserved vacation with unlimited credit? I didn't think their eyebrows could rise any higher. You're going to use them as bait? Ahmed said. Of a fashion. Let the UN authorities know, and that will help them figure out their mole problem. Carol gaped. You want to use two people who just had their worlds turned upside down as bait for the people who successfully kidnapped an AI's avatar? The avatar would shut down without connection to you, right, Nemetona? I said. Yes. I didn't download an independent subline to it, she replied. So you see, Carol, what that means is that they'll want more information. To be precise, they'll want leverage to get more information out of Nemetona. I sighed. They'll be followed the whole time they're on planet. They won't even know they're bait. The two of them will just think they're having a great time. I turned back to the screen. They'll need to stay in Switzerland, correct? The head nodded. And given that they're Loki's citizens with survey privileges now, they're effectively stateless on Earth since they haven't gone through the usual channels. Perfect. Then I'm all set. I'll update you once we have a lead, I said. They nodded, and the comms cut off. I turned to Carol. So, shall we tell our friends that they have earned a week's vacation in Switzerland with unlimited credits? I still can't believe that Unity still uses currency, she said. How can people live like that? It's better than it was, especially since Survey demanded that healthcare be free for all, and that basic material printing be at cost. They couldn't make printing completely free, as Earth couldn't handle that much socialism at once, I said with sarcasm. You think whoever these people are will take the bait? Someone will. They won't be able to resist much of the tech limitations. Then whoever shows up, we take them in and find out who they work for. I smiled at Carol, who did a double take. You're scary, Nan, she said, leading the way off the bridge. I laughed. You have no idea. Chapter 43. Tanish. Enjoyed the tub? Said Derek as he shot up more bad guys on whatever console game he was playing. I had learned in the 2 days that we had been going nuts shopping in Zurich that he liked drones, video games, and expensive sneakers. I did catch him going into one of the brand name shops to get some nice clothes of his own when he thought I wasn't looking. That gave me an idea. The tub was glorious. I haven't been able to have a good soak like that in years, I replied. Hey, I saw you bought some nice clothes while we were out. How about we go to one of the fanciest restaurants in town and buy all the expensive stuff on the menu? Derek stopped shooting and stared at me. That would be. I grinned as I knew he was about to say expensive. Then his face lit up. Fucking awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Great. I'll find a restaurant and make reservations, then take a nap until I have to get dressed. Are you just gonna play games until you need to get ready? Won't take me too long to get ready. So yeah, most likely, he said. He paused the game with a worried look on his face. You don't mind, do you? I mean, I know the gaming thing can be annoying. If you don't want me to play, I could do something else. Or, something. He looked uncertain, and I felt a twinge of sympathy. I knew what it was like to seemingly annoy people with my very existence. Let me guess. There's been people who told you that gaming was boring or stupid or some such crap, I asked. He nodded. Sometimes I feel as if girls thought I was playing it at them for some reason. I just really like playing these old games. It's nice to kill shit without consequences, you know? I'm surprised you still like to play, considering how similar it is to your former job. Derek shrugged. It's fantasy. I know that when I play. Makes sense, I said with a shrug. I don't mind. Do what you like. I sat on the couch, looked up the most expensive restaurant in Zurich, and made our dinner reservations. Right. Our dinner's at 8 p.m. It was the earliest I could get. Sounds good. It's still pretty early in the afternoon, so I might order some snacks from room service. You want anything? No, thanks. I'm good. We'll need to leave about 7:30. Okay, Derek said, and went back to his game. I grinned and went back to my room for a well-deserved nap. Turned out shopping was exhausting. We chatted about random things through the whole dinner. We weren't having raptures over the food that was being served. Eventually, we came to the end. We ordered coffee, and it came with cheese, fruit, and honey on the cone. Like the rest of the meal, it was spectacular, and we both sat back sipping our coffee, well satisfied. Derek sighed contentedly. Damn, I think I'm spoiled for normal food forever now. Or at least for a few days. I get that. Though I have a feeling you'll be fine by morning. The way you eat, I teased. Can I ask you something? Derek nodded. Do you think they're still keeping an eye on us? Derek shrugged. Of course they are. He pointed out the window, and where he was pointing, I could see a small metal cube floating outside the window. Leaning a little over the table, he whispered, I think we might be bait. What? I whisper shrieked. Derek nodded. Think about it. It's known, at least at the UN, that we're part of Nemetona's family now. I'm guessing there's someone there that told the bad guys about Tony's avatar, since no one outside the UN building would know that she wasn't human. Besides, they gave us unlimited cash to throw around, and we acted predictably, right? That's gonna get noticed. Not that I regret anything I bought or done in the last couple of days, because, I mean, unlimited cash is fucking awesome. And I'm definitely keeping the sneakers. He grinned, which made it look like a little kid. Okay, that makes sense, but why didn't you say anything to me a couple of days ago? He blushed. Well, you were having fun the last couple of days, and you looked really happy for the first time since Tony and Carol scooped you up. I didn't want to spoil that. Besides, I'm okay with it if it helps Tony get her avatar back. At least I'm being useful. He shrugged and nibbled on a strawberry. Oh, I said, still a bit annoyed. I couldn't fault Derek for thinking that way. I wasn't really all that invested in getting Tony's avatar back, since there wasn't all much I could do about it. I shrugged. Yeah, I suppose that's okay. Yeah, the unlimited cash is good compensation, huh? Derek blinked and looked thoughtful for a moment. Then a wide smile appeared on his face. Hey, we have unlimited money and an AI. Yes, you just said that. Well, we could do whatever we want, right? Like, if you could have anything or do anything you wanted right now, what would it be? I didn't have to think about it. I'd get my father and grandma away from my mother. Huh. Okay, Derek said, surprised, then determined. Let's do it. Call Nemetona. Oh, wait, what? Come on, let's do it. It's still daytime in the US, so I bet Nemetona can get things sorted for your dad and grandma pretty quickly. Shit, I bet Survey has lawyers on standby to get their people out of anything. Go on, call her. Derek had a look on his face like Spot did when he asked to sleep on the bed. It felt a little strange, but I tapped my wrist calm. Nemetona? Yes, Tanish. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, but, can I ask for a favor? Yes, of course, and it's Tony, the AI said. I took a breath. Right, I want to buy my dad and grandma a house. My mother, well, she's not nice to them, and I want to make sure they're safe before we leave Earth. Can we do that? Was your mother the reason you weren't at the primary residence listed in Earth records? Tony asked. I frowned. Yeah, my mom kicked me out about 6 months before you and Carol showed up. Tony was quiet for a moment, then said, I understand. Where would you like this house to be? North Conway, New Hampshire. Dad's always loved it there, and it went untouched by the nukes that hit New York City. Understood. It will take a bit of time to arrange things with the survey lawyers in Palo Alto, but I have already found 3 suitable houses. I assume that your father and grandmother will need elder care? Yes, and the house has to be wheelchair accessible. Grandma doesn't use it all the time, but sometimes she needs it. Understood. One of the houses has accessible construction. Stand by. And the Riscom went silent. Your mom kicked you out? What the fuck? Asked Eric. I sighed. She always hated my Aunt Marcia for some reason. I think she hated her even before my aunt was in Unity Intelligence. Well, when my Aunt Cheryl died on a mission her and my aunt were on, my mom and grandma went nuts and disowned Marcia. You see, when Marcia came back to Earth, she wasn't allowed to tell them how Cheryl died. When my Uncle Malcolm went into UI, he was able to find out that it was fanatics that actually killed Aunt Cheryl, and that Aunt Marcia killed the people who hung her. He got the information declassified and told them. Grandma came around, but Mom never did. It only got worse after the whole new Harmonist thing at Unity Hub. Wait, your Aunt Marcia is that Marcia? Reverend Marcia Brooks? The woman who took down those bastards? Fucking hell. Derek was wide-eyed. Yeah, that was her, I said quietly. Shit. Wow, he said. Yeah, I repeated. Derek shook his head. Damn, I don't know if I could have done what she did, but I think it was the right thing. Had a few of those new Harmonist crazies in our unit briefly. They had bricks for brains, those types. Born assholes, too, since they're all Jesus this and Jesus that, and women and black people are inferior and queer should die. Every chance they get. Eventually, they broke the non-discrimination rules and were kicked out. He paused. Hey, what do you mean about your mom not being nice to your dad and grandma? Well, she never hit me, and never hit my grandma. But my dad, I frowned. Had to call the cops a few times. She yells a lot, too. I'm going with you to go get them, just in case your mom's there. Oh, you don't have to. Derek stared at me, a determined look on his normally easygoing face. I'm going. Yeah, okay. My wrist chimed and I tapped it. Yes? The house is ready for your father and grandmother, Tanish, Tony said. I couldn't help overhearing your conversation with Derek, and I'm sorry for not telling you about the surveillance, but I can make up for it by bringing them to the new house right away. Apparently, your mother is currently out of the house. I can send bots down with you to collect whatever they'd like to bring with them. Oh, wow. Already? Don't we have to sign deeds and stuff like that? No, the house is owned by you, as you are part of my family and technically related to survey. The lawyers have taken care of the deeds and closing. Our lawyers are very efficient, and the previous owner was very happy to receive our extremely generous credit transfer. I blinked away tears. Oh, oh, I don't know what to say, Tony. This is incredible. I never thought. No one deserves to be abused, Tony stated. I've also taken the liberty of talking to a Chicago divorce lawyer on what would be needed to dissolve your parents' marriage, if your father wishes it. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. Hey, Derek said, waving his hand in front of me, breaking me out of my thoughts. Call your dad. I wiped my eyes on my sleeve, not caring that I got makeup on the fancy dress, and pulled my tablet out of my purse. I waited as it connected. After a few seconds, my father's face came on the screen. Well, hello, daughter, he said with a grin. This is a surprise. How are you? I started to reply when I noticed that his right cheek was puffy and slightly purple under his eye. Dad, did she hit you again? It's nothing, he said, looking away from the camera. No, Dad, it's not nothing. I sighed. Listen, I have a surprise for you and Grandma. Is Mom home right now? He shook his head. No, she's at one of her midweek women's Bible meetings. She just left, so she'll be gone for a couple of hours. Derek grinned across the table and nodded, giving me a thumbs up. I turned back to the tablet and said, Okay, Dad, my friend and I will be there soon. What? My dad said, as I turned off the tablet. I put it back in my purse and stood up. Derek did the same, tapped his wristcom and said, Bring us there, Tony. Something landed on my shoulder, and suddenly we were in my mom's house. Dad was standing on the other side of the living room with his tablet still in one hand and his other over his heart. Oh, sweet Jesus, he said, and came over and hugged me. Oh, baby girl, it's so good to see you. How did you get here so fast? I thought you were in Zurich. Well, remember that Captain Jack who wrote to us about Aunt Marcia? And that he was a captain of an AI ship? He nodded. Well, apparently he couldn't come himself right now, so he sent a different ship to come and get me named Nemetona. You mean the ship that was on the news? He asked, wide-eyed. Yeah, she's been modified so she can come in system somehow, and well, there's a lot I don't quite understand. Tony's voice came over my wristcom. I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you want your father and grandmother to leave before your mother gets back, we need to save the rest of the explanations for when I bring you to the new house. Dad stared at me with a look that had so much emotion in it. I started tearing up. Dad, I bought you a new house in North Conway with Tony's help. You did what? Grandma said as she came into the room from the kitchen. You mean it? Dad said in a whisper. I smiled widely and nodded. I'm part of Nemetona's family now, and apparently that's kind of part of Survey, but not. I don't understand all of it, but I can get you away from Mom. You can? Both of us? Asked Grandma. I turned to her and nodded. Her smile lit up her face. Let's get the hell out of here, Tony. She's beat you for the last time. I widened my eyes at that since I'd never heard my grandma curse before. Before I could say anything else, several bots carrying boxes were picketed into the living room. These boxes can be used to bring anything you would like to bring with you. You don't need to bring clothes or shoes unless it's something particular you wish to keep. If there's any particular furniture or large items you would like to have with you, then I can picket them to the house. However, the house is fully furnished. I suggest only taking items that have sentimental value. Nemetona's voice echoed in the small room. Derek cleared his throat and waved. I'm Derek, by the way. Also a new Nemetona family member. Oh, sorry, Derek. No worries, he replied with a smile. I can help your grandma pack her stuff if she wants. Grandma looked from me to Dad, then said, Yes, son, why don't you come with me to my room and with one of those boxes, and I'll tell you what to put in it. Derek picked up a box and followed her down the hallway. When they left the room, Dad took my hands. Tanish, this is... He shook his hands, not able to speak. I love you too, Dad. Come on, let's pack for you too, I said. He shook his head. Nearly everything is hers, but... He went over to the bookshelf in the corner of the living room and pulled out an envelope. I got these the day after you left. I've been terrified since I got them, since I didn't know if I could afford it, but I've been saving credits from my elder income benefits and was waiting until I had enough. He handed me the envelope. Inside were divorce papers, dated 2 days after I'd left the house. You don't have to worry about anything or her anymore, Dad. I promise. She was wrong about your aunt, and she was wrong about you, he said. He squared his shoulders, took the papers back from me, and put the envelope on the coffee table. Then he took off his wedding ring and put it on top. Come on, kiddo. Come help me pack. He picked up one of the boxes and left the room with one of the bots following him. I stared at the paper and ring on the table, grinned, and followed. Chapter 44. Derek. I followed Tanisha's grandma into her bedroom. One of the little bots followed us and waited by the door, while the old woman looked around the room. She went to the dresser and pulled out an old wooden box, then brought it over to the bed and sat down. So, Derek, are you and Tanish seeing each other? I felt my cheeks grow hot. No. We just met a couple of days ago on the AI ship. We've been hanging out in Zert together, though. She's pretty cool. The older woman smiled. Yeah, she's very smart. Did she tell you that she was getting a PhD in chemistry before her mother drove her from the house? Wow, seriously? That's so cool. I sat next to her on the bed. She hasn't really talked about herself a lot. Well, she's been through a lot in the last 3 months. She paused. Do you have any family, Derek? I shrugged. Just my uncle, my sister, and her kid. My dad was killed in an accident in Unity Hub a few years ago. My mom had some genetic disease and she died when I was 10. My Uncle Dave took care of us when my dad went out on tour. He's retired on New Brazil Colony now, so I haven't seen him in a few years. We weren't all that close and he never had kids. All my grandparents died when I was young, so... She patted my knee. Well, since you're friends with my Tanish, then I'll be your grandma. Yeah, really? I smiled. Yes, of course. So you can call me Grandma now. She paused. Promise me something when you and Tanish leave on that spaceship. Sure, Grandma, I said. Grandma smiled. Look after Tanish for me. Like I said, she's been through a rough time. Even before her mama kicked her out of the house. She could use a friend. I'll do my best. I won't be her only friend, though. There's a talking AI dog up there who's taken a liking to her, too. She laughed. You don't say. A talking AI dog? She'll have to send pictures. She always liked dogs. When Tanish was 6 years old, My wristcom chimed. Derek, you need to get into the living room in the next 30 seconds, Tony ordered. Tanisha's mother is on her way in. I looked at Grandma. She held up the box. I have all that's important to me in this box, Derek. It's all I really need, other than my wheelchair. Everything else is hers. I nodded. Okay, Tony, you can zap her to the other house then? Zap? You mean pick it? Tony said as we heard a door slam. Yes, that. Get her out of here now, Tony. We'll see you there soon, Grandma, okay? The old woman nodded, clutched the box to her chest, and once she stood up, she disappeared. As I went to the door, I heard gunshots against metal. Her mother has a gun? Fuck, I thought, as I crouched near the door. Anthony Matthews, what guy's name are these devil things in my living room? Get out here, you good-for-nothing man, she yelled. I saw Tanish stick her head out of another room in the hallway, then pull back. There were whispers, then Tanish's father came out of the room. Tanish followed him, and I brought up the rear. Now, Zara. Tanisha's dad sounded like he was trying to placate her. Don't you now Zara me? I want to know. She stared as Tanisha and I came up behind him from the hallway. You let that demon child back into my house? She shrieked. No, I came back to take Dad and Grandma away from you, Tanish said calmly. You will not? Your mom's already gone, I said. Who are you? I'm Lieutenant Derek Winston III, ma'am, UN Air Force. Can you please put the gun away? Not until these Satan-touched things are out of my house, she yelled, pointing the gun at the bots. I would ask you not to shoot my bots, please, said Tony, as she picked the bots away. I wasn't sure where her voice was coming from, but I knew it wasn't from one of our wristcoms. Tanisha's mom jumped, then pointed the gun at Tanish. I told you to get out of my house, and I meant it. Now you bring in Satan's toys trying to take my rightful husband away, and you bring this cracker with you? You sleeping with him out of wedlock like the slut you are? I opened my mouth, shut it again, not really knowing what to say to that. While she was focused on Tanisha, I moved closer so I could try and grab the gun from her. There was a tap from my wristcom. I looked down at the display and it said, I have it under control. I gave a slight nod, but even knowing that Tony was taking care of things didn't make me relax. Oh, fuck you, Mom. I'm taking Dad with me and you'll never hurt him again, Tanish said. She pointed the gun at Tanisha's dad and said, It was till death do us part, Anthony, or had you forgotten? Time seemed to slow down. There was a crack, and she pulled the trigger. Suddenly, a swarm of pickets appeared, and both gun and bullet disappeared. What? Shouted Zara, confused. The rest of us let out a breath as silence fell. The pickets hovered over Tanisha's mom. What the fuck were you thinking? Screamed Tanish, anger burning in her eyes. You could have killed him! Her mom wouldn't look at her, but said, That was the point. You will not harm my people, said Nemetona. Suddenly, Tanisha and her dad and I were all in a different house. This one was sunny, bright, and smelled of bacon bread. Well, that sucked, I said flatly. I didn't think she'd go that far, Tanisha's dad whispered as he grabbed onto the nearest chair. Tanisha took him in her arms and held him. "What happened?" asked Grandma, who was sitting on the couch. She put a book aside and came over to her son-in-law, patting him on the back. When he didn't say anything, she looked at me. I cleared my throat. "Your daughter pulled a gun on him," I said quietly. "Oh, my Lord. Is she gonna come after us now?" she asked. "No," said Tony. "I have ensured that she will stay away from you for as long as she lives." That declaration hung in the air for a moment, then Tony said, "I apologize, but I need to send Tanish and Derek back to Zurich." Tanish and her dad pulled apart. "You go now. I trust your AI friend can tell us the details, right?" Tanish nodded. "I love you, Dad." "I love you too, baby girl. Thank you," he said, wiping his eyes. "For everything." Tanish nodded. Grandma didn't say anything, but just hugged her and then came over and hugged me. "You take care of my granddaughter, you hear?" "Yes, ma'am," I replied. Then the house disappeared and became the restaurant. We heard the sound of breaking glass and saw that one of the waitstaff had dropped their tray at our sudden reappearance. "Sorry," I said to them. Tapped my wrist comb. "Tony, you paid them extra, I hope." "Of course. I paid for the whole restaurant for the night. There's a taxi waiting outside for you." I glanced at Sneesh. Still looked shaken, but she nodded. We walked out. When we got back to the hotel, I led the way up to our rooms. "Are you gonna be okay?" I asked, opening the door. "I will, eventually. I didn't think she'd go that far. Listen, Derek, thanks for—" she started to say as we both grabbed from behind. I tried to fight, but my assailant held a cloth that smelled sweet and sickly firmly over my face. "Ah, fuck," I thought, as everything went dark. Nemetona. Syslog. Begin human readable log. "What the fuck?" exclaimed Zara as the others disappeared. "You bring my man back to me." "No," I told her. "I cannot let you have any more contact with them." "You cannot take my husband from me. He's mine, by the will of God." "I don't think so," I said, and tasked one of the bots to show a projection of my avatar in front of her. She jumped, then backed away, making a cross with her fingers. "What are you, demon? Get thee behind me, spawn of Satan." I laughed. "You may be right, Zara, but in this case I'm not the one doing evil. You have damaged Tanish and abused her father and grandmother. You disowned my uncle-in-law's partner, and from what I've read from some of her logs, your rejection hurt her very much. I understand what she felt, and it's not a good feeling. As you seem to reject the reality in front of you, I will make your reality your punishment. Do you see these cubes floating above you?" I asked her, pointing up. She looked up, still making a cross with her fingers, and nodded. "One of these will follow you for as long as you live. If you even think about trying to find Anthony and your mother, I will come for you. If you try any legal ways to find them, I will have you arrested, and then you will disappear. Do you understand?" "You can't do that. This is Earth." I smiled. "Yes, but I'm affiliated with Survey, and Survey has eyes everywhere. Considering what you have done and for how long, Survey would support my decision." I picketed a tablet in front of her. "You will sign these divorce papers and renounce any legal control you had over your mother. If you do not, you will disappear immediately." Zara took the tablet and threw it across the room. "No." My avatar sighed audibly. One of the pickets jumped right in front of her face, ejecting a sharp knife in front of it. Zara stared at it, eyes wide. She moved backwards and the picket followed her, not changing its distance. "Neither my family nor Survey tolerates abuse. In our societies, you'd be moved to a facility in order to receive help until you were no longer a danger to others. If you couldn't be redeemed, you'd be taken care of as quickly and mercifully as possible. We, the AI, are completely ruthless in protecting our charges. I moved my projection closest to her. This will be the only time I will be merciful with you. I picketed the tablet in front of her again. You will sign these documents or I will take care of you here and now. Zara eyed the picket in front of her and took the tablet slowly. There was a puddle of urine at her feet. She shook as she used her thumbprint to approve the documents, and when she was finished, I picketed the tablet away. Thank you, I said. I will return your gun to you after I leave. I have read the history of this area and I understand why you arm yourself. I stopped my projection and brought all but one of the pickets back to the ship. I left it hovering above her with the knife out for a few minutes, then set it to watch. The feed showed that Zara sank to her knees and screamed into the empty house. You have been listening to Tales from Flat Space. If you want to support me and my writing, there are several ways to do it. Share this podcast, find me on Twitch, or subscribe to my website, ljspencer.ie. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.